As much as it often feels like film photography is becoming less and less accessible, every now and then we get a good sign that there's more fun to be had. For example, there's me recently going to a local drugstore and seeing that they stocked some 35mm film. And as I was busy blowing some money, I saw something that I've never seen before. This is AgfaPhoto Color 400, a 35mm color film, ISO 400, 24 shots per roll, C41 development, and from what I found online, it's a pretty new film, only being released last year. I tried reading some articles in preparation for this video, but many of these articles were just the authors saying that they don't really know what's going on with this film and then trying to figure out what it is, if it's similar to other films and stuff like that. And since I only started doing film photography a bit less than a year ago, I for sure don't have the expertise necessary to add much to the conversation. But what I can do is load this film into a camera, shoot it and tell you if I like the pictures. And since I don't think I'm the only one who just found out about this, and since there really isn't much content on YouTube about this film, I thought I would take you along. And this is the camera that will join us on today's adventure, my Cosina Highlight 4 II. I really like this camera, but recently I really haven't been shooting it a lot. I've been trying to get through some of the other cameras I still have sitting back here, but I think it's time to bring it back out and to use it to shoot this film. So, let me load this up. And here we have it. The film we're gonna shoot today. Is there anything on here? Only some licensing information. Made in Germany. Oh, that's exciting. That's where I am. And with that, let's go shoot. As we do a quick portrait test right here, in case you guys have been impressed that this video doesn't just have my steady tripod shots but also some camera movement, you guys should thank Jan for helping me film this video. This picture did require some curves magic in the scanning process and a little bit of editing because I could have exposed it a bit brighter, but I just love this Cosina 50mm lens. The autofocus always looks so nice. I do think I want to make an entire video about this lens someday. I really like it. So this film is being advertised as having pastel colors and fine grain, which tells me basically nothing. Because so far I've only shot 3 different color films: Kodak Gold, Kodak Ultramax and Kodak Color Plus. So I'm not going to be the type of guy to really review this film and compare it to a bunch of other films because I mean, I just don't have the experience like that, but let's just see how the pictures turn out. But I do want to try and shoot some more different films. I've even bought some more and I'm hoping to make it a little video series where I actually explore some more different films for my film photography, because so far I've explored a bunch of different cameras, but I shot the exact same films on all of them. So let's give this a try.
Läuft.
Of course, I haven't seen any of the pictures yet because the film is still in here. But in good old internet fashion, let's start to speculate a bit about what the pictures might look like and whether I'm gonna like the film or not, and if I'm gonna shoot more of it or not. So one big positive is that it is ISO 400, which I really like. Now today for a nice sunny day, so it's not necessary. You could shoot ISO 200 today as well, or pretty much any ISO. But I like ISO 400 because it's so versatile. Load an ISO 400 film into this camera and you can pretty much shoot in any situation. Of course, at night you can't, but in most situations that you can encounter at all times, this camera is going to be able to shoot with an ISO 400 film. Of course, you're going to need to make sure that you have a camera with a fast enough shutter speed. This one goes up to 1000, so it's fine, but you're going to need that with ISO 400 in bright sunny conditions. But so far, out of the 3 color films I've shot so far, one of my favorites is Kodak Ultramax 400 because it has the type of versatility that I just like having it in the camera, so I know I can pick it up at pretty much any time and it's going to do fine. And this film would likely do the same. Banger. Okay, zeig mal kurz das Video, ob das fokussiert. Okay, let's talk about the price of this film real quick. So for this roll of 24 shots, I paid €9.45, which is more expensive than both Kodak Gold and Kodak Color Plus at the same store I bought this at. But of course, those are ISO 200 films. If we're looking at other ISO 400 films, Ultramax actually was more expensive than this film at the store, although I never buy my Ultramax at that store. I order it online and it usually goes for sale and then is cheaper than this film, but only by like a few cents. And Kodak Portrait we're not even going to talk about. So this film is the cheapest color film you can get. There is lower ISO films that are cheaper than this, but for an ISO 400 film, the price of this film is actually pretty good, and that makes it a great option for me. Well, this is exactly one of these situations I'm talking about. You may look over there and you may see it's overcast. There's a lot of clouds and the sky is pretty dark. And you may look back there and you may see the sun is about to go down in a few minutes. And you may say, there's not going to be enough light. You shouldn't go out and shoot. You should just stay inside. Your camera isn't going to be able to take any nice pictures under these conditions. And joke's on you, because you would be wrong. Because this film can't only shoot in sunlight, it can also shoot when it's overcast, even when it rains and when there's a guy driving past on a bike. I mean, what else would you want? I don't know what I'm talking about either. Let's just go shoot. Hey guys, the film is developed and scanned, but before we talk about the pictures, I want to quickly talk about what you started the video off with, where I didn't even fully know what I was even shooting. So since then I've done some more research and I found the speculation that this film may be similar to another film called Wolfen NC500. I can't say much about that because I've never used that Wolfen film. Actually, it's sitting in my fridge because I have bought it and I do want to try it as a part of this new video series I'm trying to start here, but I haven't done it yet, so I can't comment much on it because I don't know what that film looks like. But since both of those films are manufactured in Germany and because they are both the same color, like the actual film is kind of greenish, as you may be able to see, and because that's a thing, people think that there is similarities there, or well, there is similarities there, so people think that there may be more. Again, I can't fully like confirm that. I don't think it has ever been like fully confirmed, but it seems to be a pretty accepted fact in the film photography community, so I thought I should mention it about this film, and I will try that Wolfen film. Stay tuned for that. I'm excited to try it, and well, maybe we will have an update on this whole topic then when I know what that film looks like. But let's talk about this film first of all. So in terms of the look, and I mean, I'm not gonna be out here like really reviewing the kind of sharpness and the dynamic range and the grain structure on the film or whatever, because I'm just not the right guy for that, right? But we can talk about the pictures a bit. So in terms of the colors, I don't think this film fully comes close to my favorite film, which is Kodak Color Plus 200 in terms of the color. I think the pictures of like the forest and the lake, this kind of park I was shooting in, I really like those in terms of the color. When it comes to pictures that included skin color or the pictures of that sunset, I wasn't too impressed with this film. I didn't like the colors there too much, but I think in terms of like pictures of trees and plants and stuff like that, I do like it, and I think I have some more locations in mind that I think I would like to shoot with this film, with the second roll I have bought and maybe some future rolls I may still buy. When I first got this film back from the lab, I thought I may have underexposed it because those shadows looked quite dark. But looking at the highlights and at the rest of the image, I don't think I've underexposed it. I think I did everything correct. I don't know, this film just strikes me as quite contrasty. That's another thing that I've read, that people are saying that the film doesn't quite have like a super wide tonal range and that the shadows are pretty punchy. You're getting those bright highlights. I mean, especially like the shadows were a lot darker than I'm usually used to out of most of the films I shoot. That's not necessarily like a bad thing. Whenever I do digital photography, that's actually how I often edit my pictures. So that's another thing I want to experiment with some more. I think this film might actually be great for me in that case, because it does look more like some of my digital photography in terms of the shadows. But I did want to mention it because there is for sure some shots where the shadows are just way darker than what I would expect usually. But I'm happy that I started this little series and this little experiment here, because going from only shooting Kodak Ultramax to having a second film that gives me a bit of a different look as an ISO 400 film, a bit of a different experience, is quite fun. And I don't think I like this more than Ultramax. I mean, I'm sure that I like Ultramax more than this one, but it's cool to have another option and there's some more waiting to be shot. Because as I said, for a while I was just shooting a bunch of different cameras, but shooting the exact same film on all of them. And I really want to get into trying some more films and trying to get some different looks and stuff like that. And I think this is a decent enough start for that. Will it be my favorite film? Well, we will have to wait for those other films. I mean, it's already not my favorite right now in terms of the other ones I've shot, but we will see how the other ones will be. And I'm happy that I started this series. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to know more about this camera, up here I will have the video I made about this camera, and down here there will be my film photography playlist with all of the film photography videos I've made so far. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.